Hi, I'm Todd Nauck, and you're listening to Dinner and a Podcast.
Go ahead. Make my day.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
Here's Johnny. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. This is Sparta.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
You talking to me?
I see dead.
Houston, we have a problem.
Just a drink. A martini, shaken not stirred.
Why so serious?
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Welcome to Dinner and a Podcast. Here are your hosts, Steve, Joe, and Mike.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 74 of Dinner and a Podcast, the show where three best friends get together, share a meal and a conversation, discussing all things pop culture, movies, TV, and comics. Make sure to check out our Facebook page by searching Dinner and a Podcast, our website, dinnerandapodcast.weebly.com. There you can find comic reviews, full comic synopses, dinner and a movie reviews, and Just a Bit Outside, which is our sports section. Hey Joe.
Yeah, Steve.
You like cookies?
I love cookies.
Do you like murders?
Not so much.
Would you like a murder if you got it half off with a box of cookies?
Half off the murder?
Either
How
way.
much better would you feel about a murder? I mean, your murder. If at the end you got a box of cookies.
Do I get to eat the cookies before I die?
No, I think they're for the people that come visit after you've been murdered.
No,
They
no,
get
no,
a
no.
cookie.
No. This is how it works. You want someone murdered.
Right.
You buy a box of cookies. You get half off the box of cookies, but you pay full price
and
for
you
the
get a murder thrown in for free.
No,
Oh.
you're getting it all wrong.
Is it like a box of Cracker Jacks where it's in like the
Get a
murder's
free
inside?
murder inside.
I guess the object.
Oh, I got a decoder ring. I got a coupon for a free murder.
Well, if you wanna,
It says close relative or friend.
if you want yourself a murder and a box of cookies half off, go to our good friend Marie DeZio at DeZio Bakes.
Oh, I got a mood ring in mine.
on Instagram. That's DIZEOBAKES. She's an excellent baker. She makes really good products. She's also a fantastic murderer, apparently, and you'll never know that she was there.
Right. So what do our listeners have to say to get this discount?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the whole important part. You guys threw me off with the decoder rings. If you email her or make an order through her and you mention Dinner and a Podcast.
Subject line, all the murders.
Subject line, all the murders, or Murder and a Podcast, whatever we said last week.
Murder in a box.
You'll get yourself a 10% off discount off of your order.
10%, that's great.
That's not bad.
No.
That's easily 15 cents, 30 cents. Whatever you, depends on what you buy.
Or finger or toe.
15% off your
I'm actually going to use Marie. I haven't yet to tell her, but I need to do.
Well, I think you're telling her right now.
For which one?
My daughter. Oh well, no, the cookies for now.
Okay.
For my daughter's communion.
Oh, cool.
It's coming up real soon. Yeah.
Body of Christ cookies?
I don't know. That body part might be too on the nose for her.
Or just his nose. I don't know. Whatever you want.
I gotta figure out something.
See
But I
what I
know
did there?
Monica's gonna want to do that.
Okay.
Because we did a candy table last time, and I think we're gonna do the same thing again. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, today's topic is...
I'll let you know what I pick.
Today's topic is going to be our top 5 favorite jobs that we've had of all times, or just a discussion about jobs
I
that we've
didn't
had.
really do top 5. Yeah.
Yeah, just a discussion about jobs that
I
we
don't know
had.
if I could have a favorite 5.
I've only had 2.
I haven't had many jobs. I got to
Really?
I haven't
Yeah.
had 5 jobs. I haven't had 5 jobs.
Oh wow. All right.
I think I've had 4 jobs. If I think about it,
Really?
if I think about it real hard, 4 jobs, like paying jobs, like with a payroll and my social security number and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just been 4.
I'm pushing 3 maybe.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So I'll be chatting with the listeners about jobs.
We'll be making fun of you this episode.
I've had a bunch of jobs.
But before we get to that, Joe, you got any news?
You knows it.
Yes.
You knows it.
Well, now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
News with Joe.
Let's move on to things that we like that are coming back or having remakes.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
National Lampoon's Summer Vacation.
They've never really stopped doing National Lampoon's movies, have they?
No, wait, they
It's-
did Vacation already.
It's coming to Broadway as a musical.
No, thank you.
And it's about the Griswolds' trip to New York.
No, the pass.
No.
Thank you. Hard pass.
Okay. Carmen Sandiego is getting a live action movie and an animated Netflix series.
Don't care about either
Yeah,
one.
okay. Maybe my son will like it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he has no connection to Carmen Sandiego.
Yeah, I know. But maybe it's a new show that's informative. Like he's been watching such crap lately. Like he watches a show called Oddbots, which they don't. It's just these little things. They don't talk. They get into trouble. Like kind of like Minions without Gru, I guess. But I don't know. It's just but I wouldn't mind an educational cartoon like that for him.
And Monty Python, their entire catalog is coming to Netflix.
Oh, that I'd watch.
So
Yeah, that's
if
not
you're
being-
watching The Office, you might find yourself in a
I've seen all the Monty Python stuff,
Right.
but I would love to rewatch some of those.
Fall down that rabbit hole is not a bad idea.
Their kind of sketch comedy show was very good. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know how dated some of it's going to feel.
You have that DVD collection? My brother-in-law has that. It's like 30 DVDs.
I don't.
Yeah.
I have all the movies.
Yeah. Now that was a good Broadway play. Spamalot was amazing.
Really?
Yeah, Spamalot was really, really good.
Yeah, well,
Very good.
like that's their best movie. Well, some people, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Holy Grail.
I enjoyed that a lot. My second favorite Broadway play.
Sandlot is celebrating 25 years. And I shared it with you. Funkos have come out for
I saw
the
that.
Sandlot. Yep.
Yeah.
But it's only 2 right now.
No, it's the best too, though.
Yes.
Is the kid in the lifeguard?
It's Squints and the lifeguard. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want Benny. Just give me Benny. I'm good.
I'm sure they'll come out with some more.
Oh, they can come out with all of them.
But speaking of Benny, for $60, you could buy your own pair of PF Flyers.
What do you mean?
The shoes that he wears?
Yeah. You can just go out and get those anytime, no?
No.
Really?
No.
Oh, PF Flyers.
PF
They don't sell
Flyer.
those anymore?
I don't think so.
No, I think they do. I think my father-in-law had a pair of PF Flyers. And I was like, didn't Benny the Jet wear those?
I'm fine with that. That's cool.
He doesn't wear Keds?
No.
No, they were. I think PF Flyers might have been made up, no?
I think they were.
Oh, really? That was a make-believe shoe company?
I think they were like a knockoff of
Oh, okay.
Converse.
Converse,
like All
but
Stars.
you just couldn't get the rights to say Converse.
Oh, okay. Then my father-in-law definitely didn't have a pair.
I quoted that movie today.
Did you? L7, did you call somebody an L7
No,
weenie?
one of the guys at
So you
work.
killing me, Smalls?
We were at a conference call. He
I see,
texted me.
killing me, Smalls,
He's
all the
like,
time.
"Do we have to do this forever? Is that what the boss just said?" And I just sent him the picture. Forever.
And I'm gonna drop some knowledge on you guys. I read 2 really cool science articles
All right.
that are really quite amazing. So a high school student during a contest figured out how to prevent brain injuries.
Like
Don't hit yourself in the head.
Yes.
like no concussions
Solved.
and stuff?
Well, like when you have it, like what happens to your is what goes on in your brain and how
Yeah.
to like slow down the process.
Okay.
So when you have a brain injury, the neurons in your brain are going crazy, and you have certain cells which help neurons calm down, which are called astrocytes.
Yeah.
She found a way to boost the astrocytes in the brain
Right.
to help calm down the neurons.
Okay.
And this girl did this at high school.
Wow.
I was like, this is amazing.
What did she do? Did you read on it?
I did. So what happens is the astrocytes uptake glutamate, which is what happens when the neurons start to die.
Okay.
So the more glutamate, the less neurons, your brain starts to fail,
Okay.
right? So the astrocytes help uptake the glutamate, which keep the neurons alive.
Gotcha.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So she found out how to... Yes. She found out how to put that bridge back together.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't know how? You know how she did? I would like to know.
Well, she just started doing tests. She started with
Yeah, did she poke you with a stick?
she
Did
started with mice.
Electrocute you. Like,
Yeah.
She started with some mice on their heads
Yeah.
and then fixed them.
Wow.
then
They
fix them.
fixed them. All right. I'm like, everyone, if you want to know more about that,
I
go
think
look it
what
up.
Steve was asking is, what's the fix them part?
Yeah.
We all know how to damage the brain.
The fix them is to get more astrocytes to
yeah,
the
no,
brain.
what did
how?
she
What
do?
She didn't
do?
say that.
She microwaved them, but microwave 30 seconds on high. It's amazing what it does.
It was a Facebook article. They didn't give her a dissertation on what exactly she did step by step.
Gotcha.
One finger in a light socket, other foot in a bucket of water.
The other one, MIT is making a miniature sun.
How? They didn't say, damn it. They just did it.
They're making a miniature
A
sun.
miniature sun to produce limitless green fuel.
Oh, okay.
But wait a minute. Isn't the sun a super dense matter?
Right.
How
so
they doing that?
the energy that the sun...
They didn't say. They just said they're doing it. You see? They're doing it. That's all that matters.
They're going to save the world, damn it. So the sun uses...
Strap in, kids. Science with Joe. Now you don't know. Go ahead.
Knowing's all the battle here. All right.
Knowing is the battle.
Yeah, apparently.
Just shoot me with a laser. So the sun uses nuclear fusion
Yes.
to create energy.
It does.
So they found a way to create that to make a miniature generator.
That can't be good. That can't be good.
They're saying it's better than what we have now with nuclear
It's better
power.
than the normal sun. No, it's better than nuclear power?
Yes.
Wow.
But wait, doesn't the sun produce massive amounts
Amounts
of
of radiation.
very harmful
Yes.
radiation
Yes.
Right.
that we need an atmosphere to protect us from, and that
Yes.
doesn't even always do the job?
Right.
You know, Mike, maybe you should go and talk to the MIT scientists.
No, I didn't bring it up. This is on you now.
Because by
I wanna-
2033, they're going to create this thing.
So do they just put it in a box and like hang it like from the ceiling?
The big yellow
Yeah,
one's
from
the
string.
sun.
The little
You know?
yellow was the sun.
You know? Like how do they go about using this miniature sun?
And how do you hang it? Like, whose job is that? Hold the sun. You hold the sun.
Todd.
Is this gonna harm me? No. This kid's gonna fix your brain. Don't worry about it.
Segway Steve.
There you go. Oh, Jesus. Where do you put a sun?
In the sky.
No, seriously.
No,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like where do you like unless you have
can't-
indoor greenhouses?
but where do you fit? Like, you can't put it on the table.
It's like a disco
sun.
globe. It's like a disco ball. You hang it from the middle of the
You
room.
hang it. What do you use to hang a sun?
Well, where are you containing it? Is it in a box? What's it in?
What kind of box?
I don't know.
That was the problem. We haven't
Adamantium.
made a sunproof box yet.
Right. It's the box of shame.
We got one guy working on a sun string to hang in the sun.
Yeah, right. Kid from high school figured out how to contain the miniature sun in a box. I don't know how he does it, but he does it.
Made a box.
Yeah.
What's in the box?
Oh man, the sun. Anyway,
They made a little sun. This is going to be some photographer took a picture of the sun.
yeah. Oh man,
Little sun. All right.
there it is. Hashtag little sun.
We have a lot of TV shows coming out.
Look at the way he got so serious.
This is more important.
The science part.
Yeah.
That's not serious.
The Toys That Made Us Season 2
Yes.
coming out.
Our good
Greenlit.
friend Thomas Volkweiss, Brian Volkweiss. Jesus.
Brockmire Season 2
Oh, I can't wait.
coming out in 3 weeks. We have 3 documentaries coming out.
Okay.
One is the Andre the Giant documentary.
There was a trailer for that before Ready Player One.
Really?
Where I saw it.
Oh,
yep.
I didn't see that
You
one.
lucky bastard. That comes out next week. And the Joe Paterno documentary is coming out. HBO as well.
All right.
That one's called Little Sun too, but for a different reason. Why would they make a documentary about him?
I guess the rise and fall of a legend. I don't know.
Wow, that is going to be received interestingly.
And Harry Potter is getting a documentary. It's going to be released on the CW.
Too soon.
What's it about?
I think it if I read it correctly, it came out already in the UK. It was on the BBC, and now
That's my favorite preface on Joe's News. If I have all the facts right.
What, isn't everything I say fake news?
No, there hasn't been in a while.
Oh, okay.
I haven't thrown a fake news in there in a long time.
I just assume, so I don't fact check things.
You know what happens when
anymore.
you assume?
I'm an asshole.
Wow.
So, wait, I want to see the Andre the Giant one. I
Right.
have
Yeah.
no desire to see the Joe Paterno one.
No.
Okay.
Or the Harry Potter one.
What's the Harry Potter one about?
The making of
But isn't that what's on
her-
every DVD?
Yeah.
her writing process.
Oh, that would be interesting. Like how she did it. I don't
Right.
care how they made the movies.
Yeah, okay.
Like a history of the books?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I gotta finish watching the movies first.
You haven't
Because
finished
she
it?
went from like destitute poverty, right?
Yeah.
Like I think she wrote that because she was like had no it was like, I guess I'll write a book. There's nothing left to do.
Wow.
Couldn't feed her kids, couldn't do anything.
Holy shit.
To one of the richest people in England, I think. Man or woman.
Yeah.
I think she might be the richest.
Wow.
I watch Andre the Giant. Joe Paterno. I
Not
wasn't
so
even
much.
a big Penn State fan.
I'm not a big college football fan.
Yeah.
I watch the bowls, but even the bowls now are getting out of control. Is that all you got, Joe?
That's all I got.
All right. That's going to lead us into wasting time. You want to give Tony a lead in?
Take it away, Tony. Pew pew.
Now it's time for everyone's favorite segment. How are you wasting time? Or how are you pissing off your wife?
So, Joe, how'd you waste time this week?
How'd I waste time? I watched your favorite sitcom of the 90s.
My favorite sitcom of the 90s?
Yeah.
Full House?
I watched Roseanne.
Ugh.
The new one.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was 2 episodes. It was a 1 hour special. They broke up into 2 episodes. They touch base on everything that's going on in society today.
Okay.
which was
Trump.
Yeah, everything.
Trump's. I heard
She's a Trump
was-
supporter, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I'm surprised. Wasn't she like a crazy liberal at one point?
She's
no idea.
middle class.
Well, I know Roseanne is, but like in real life, Roseanne Barr.
Oh, probably.
Is a Trump supporter.
Is she really?
Yeah, I just
didn't
saw
know that.
like her and I think Kimmel got into it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was either Kimmel or it doesn't matter. They all hate Trump. Any one of those nighttime guys.
Everybody hates Trump. You know who really hates Trump? Aussie in the Palm. Like, I don't understand how people from other countries care about what our country does, but they do.
Do you want to hear something crazy about Trump?
Sure.
I'm hiring, right, for this new restaurant.
Right.
And I had an older guy come in, and he's probably in his late 60s, and he was a postal worker his entire life.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just looking for a job to help supplement the income. You know, I'm living off a postal thing. And I'm like, all right, well, what have you been doing? Like, he's like in his 60s. I'm like, when did you retire? He's like 10 years ago. I was like, what were you doing? He's like, oh, I got a job driving, because I used to drive the mail.
Right.
Scientists at... Brookhaven at the end of Long Island, right? It's one of the biggest research laboratories in America. I was like, oh, what happened to that job? He's like, it's only open 2 or 3 days a week now because Trump won't let any of the foreign scientists into the country anymore. So they don't have enough scientists to
Run the play, run the experiments.
keep the lab open long enough. He's like, so he had to cut staff.
Wow.
Because he's not letting scientists in because he doesn't trust them.
Yeah.
Like, what? You don't trust scientists?
Well, are they? I'm not defending this because I think it's horrible.
Aren't they the people? Isn't
I'm
that the
saying-
lab that sequenced the human genome? Was in that lab?
Oh, there were a couple labs doing it at the same time. I forget.
I think that was the one that was spearheading that research.
Okay.
I think the guy told me it's the second largest research lab in the entire country.
I believe it.
And now it's.
But are they from a certain country that's on a list or something?
He said there's so many
countries,
and it's so difficult to get in here now.
Yeah.
Because of visas and that he's like they just like we're only gonna open Tuesdays and Thursdays. Put your science on hold.
That's
I was
a
like,
shame.
I've never come across bashing him. Like I was like, that is really terrible.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not
That's
good.
not good.
Right.
That we're not.
And we
doing
don't even hear about stuff like that. Like
No.
how many other things are we not?
No,
hearing
the only
about?
reason I heard about it because this guy's like, I guess I need a job now.
Yeah, I work at this chain restaurant in
Yeah.
the mall.
He said
I used to work for Brookhaven.
I said, what were you doing? He's like, I was driving like Nobel laureates from like lab. It's the giant complex. He's like, so I just
he drove a golf cart.
yeah, sort of. He's like,
with Watson and Crick in the back.
yeah, that's what he said. I was like, it was a great. She said it was so much fun.
Yeah.
He goes, I would just chat with them. He goes, I wouldn't understand anything they were saying.
Yeah.
But I would try to chat with them about their research. He goes, it was really fun.
That's awesome.
He goes, 4 guys that won Nobel prizes. He got.
Wow.
He remembers.
And now he wants to flip burgers.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Poor guy.
With you.
Yeah.
No less.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he got himself
Me yelling
into.
at him. No, I feel I couldn't hide a guy. He was no way.
Oh.
I watched a movie that you watched,
Uh-oh.
Jumanji.
Uh-oh.
Oh, how'd you like it?
It was all right.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
It's entertaining.
That's what I hear.
The Rock was good. I didn't like Jack Black.
I don't like Jack Black.
You know what? I used to, and I just don't.
I only liked him in what do you call it?
School of Rock?
No, I didn't even like that in that movie. I only liked him in Tenacious D.
Oh,
okay.
That's what ruined him for me. I liked him in the one where he was vain when he thought everybody that
Shallow
was
Hal?
I liked Shallow Hal, and I liked School of Rock, and then I saw Tenacious D finally.
Oh, not the movie. I just like the Tenacious D.
Oh no, I saw the
like
movie.
the comedy albums.
The Search for the Pick or something,
Yeah.
whatever it was, and that ruined it for me.
Come on, some of their early stuff is really funny. The greatest song ever written.
I never listened to it.
Oh, it's a
It's a tribute.
it's a tribute because they can't remember the greatest song ever written because it vanquishes the devil, right?
Yeah.
That song.
Yeah.
They played it because the devil challenged them. Then they can't
Well, that's what
remember.
happens in the movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
I assume that's
Yeah.
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 And then what's
the Pick of Destiny, it's called.
what's
Pick
the
of
one?
Destiny.
Fuck her slowly, fuck her gently.
Fuck Her Gently.
Oh my God, is that song funny?
Oh, you would love Big Mouth.
Yeah.
What, that show we talked about last episode?
But again, I like that show. I like that music when I was like 16, 17.
Right.
But I used to think their stuff was really funny.
Yeah.
Plus, he's a really talented singer.
He's good.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah, he's
really
good.
talented.
He can play guitar too.
Yeah, there's the Jimmy Fallon where it's him and Jimmy Fallon, and they do what the hell song is it they redo? The black and white one where they're both playing guitar
Don't know.
from the 80s.
Oh, the Metallica song?
No, I got to look it up now. Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
Chris Isaak song?
No. Go ahead, Joe. Jumanji it up.
Yeah.
Jumanji was good. We talked about it when you.
I thought Kevin Hart was very good in it.
I thought it was great.
Yep.
I liked the two of them as a duo.
The Rock and Kevin Hart.
Yes.
Yeah.
I watched them in that other spy one, and I thought it was fantastic. So anything that they're in, I'm in.
They did another movie together?
Yeah.
Or the good cop, bad cop one? Was it one of those?
The Rock was a spy, and he was an average guy. And
Central Intelligence,
yes.
right?
Oh, Central Intelligence.
You watched the whole Jumanji?
Yes.
At this point, I'm going to spoil it a little bit. The scene where he eats the bread,
right,
and explodes. Like, I howled when that happened. Each of the characters has a weakness, like in a video game, like allergic to snakes. Well, and Kevin Hart's is bread, just has weakness bread,
gluten,
and he eats bread at one point, and he's like, "Oh, that wasn't a big deal." I guess that he just explodes. And then later on, he's telling somebody the story. He's like, "You know what happens to me in this game? If I eat bread, I explode."
And what, do you just get regenerated? You
They have
three
lives.
You have
Yeah.
3 lives? Okay.
it was good.
That's
I was pretty like, it's all right.
Yeah,
it's not
entertaining.
great. There's some really bad CGI in it.
So what is it like the
More than words.
More than
Jimmy Fallon and Jack Black dress up like, yeah, and they're both sitting there playing acoustic guitar doing More Than Words.
That's funny.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's really good in it.
So is Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon ain't bad.
He's
yeah,
great,
to it, and
yeah.
I was like, wow, they both can really sing.
Yeah. What are you going to ask me?
Oh, what's the worst thing on our movie list?
Transformers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something might beat Transformers.
Nah, I don't know about that.
Something might be Transformers.
Yes.
Transformers 5?
No.
Pacific Rim 2.
Did you see it?
Close.
Oh, really?
It's close.
I watched Power Rangers the other day.
Oh, did you?
Oh my! I was telling Mike before.
No, but there's no expectations in that.
Right, but when you get to the end and you realize what you've watched, that you like make it through halfway through the movie and you don't realize you've watched Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Like that's gotta say something about the shitty
What
writing.
movie am I watching?
Yeah.
That's great.
I watched Jumanji and then Power Rangers was on afterwards and I started it. It didn't like I caught it like maybe 5 minutes like into the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's like all these kids you go through like their like relationship and then like midway through you realize that it's the fucking Power Rangers.
Wow.
No mention of anything, nothing like about what's going
Megazords.
on, nothing.
There's no Megazord?
Was there Knights at the Round Table made out of giant robots?
No.
Was there a drunk Merlin?
There was a bad guy who ate gold. Like literally went to the jewelers and took gold and chewed it.
Gold Sphincter.
It's terrible.
Yeah, huh? Well, I don't think that movie's has as much.
Was there giant gaping plot holes that you couldn't explain for no reason?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, all right.
Oh, all over the place.
That's key to being a Transformers movie.
Yeah.
All over the place.
Wow. Sorry to hear it.
Terrible CGI.
I never got into that anyway, so I don't care at all.
Neither I, but like
I almost watched it the other day too because it was on Cody.
the interactions with the Cody's back?
Cody's back.
It's back, baby. It never left from me. Mine was fine.
Mine would not work
Why don't you lead with that?
for like 3 days.
Cody's back, baby. Sorry.
Put that on a cookie.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to Cody. Maybe this
Yeah.
is just a trap. We gave you a chance. You came back. Now
It's a
you're really
trap.
screwed.
Yeah, they probably just had to fix. Someone tried to hack them. Probably they had to fix something. Now they're back.
Yeah, but there was nothing in mine. It was empty.
Oh, all right.
All the movies were there, but no feeds for anything.
You broke it, Mike.
Oh, it's good now.
Power Rangers, no good.
All right. So the way I wasted time, I bought a lot of concert tickets. I bought Shinedown Godsmack tickets, which I think is a really good concert.
I go see Godsmack.
I really want to see Shinedown. They're like one of my favorite bands these days. Plus, you get to see Godsmack. Godsmack's the headliner. And I also bought from what?
I'm trying to think of like, do I know more than 5 of either one of their songs?
Oh, Shinedown. I know all their albums. Love them. I'm going for them. I'm not going for Godsmack. I don't know any.
What, Shinedown?
Yeah, you do. You know that one song. That one song. It's like a ballad almost. I'm not singing it, but you definitely know.
So what else did you spend money on?
The one that you emailed to me. Thank you for the email.
You bought tickets?
Sure did.
Did you give me
man.
one?
You want to go? I thought you said no.
Yeah, I said yes.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I bought 4. I didn't know who I was taking, so you're in. There you go. So I bought tickets to see the Cult, STP, and Bush.
I want to see Bush.
So does Nicole. Nicole's in love with Gavin Rossdale for like her whole life. So she's like,
Where are they playing?
PNC Bank Art Center in New Jersey.
When is that?
July 28th, like right around the corner. Like they're doing 20 shows in like 40 days or 35 days.
Who did you say? Stone Temple Pilots?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know who their singer is.
Who's going to sing with them?
I don't know. Who cares?
The ghost of
Scott Weiland.
Skull Island. I'm gonna force ghost him.
Dude, I'm a huge Cult fan, and I'm a huge.
I would. Is Bush closing that show, or is it?
I don't know.
SCP.
I don't know. I think it's like they're all equally headlining.
I would like to see Bush.
So would I.
I'm going for the Cult. I mean, I've seen the Cult live before, and I've seen Scott Weiland. Me and you have seen Scott Weiland before with Velvet Revolver.
Yeah, but like,
I've
what's
seen
that
them with
band without
Stone Temple Pilots.
Oh yeah, I know. But he did some of Stone Temple Pilots songs when we saw him.
Yeah.
He did a couple.
Like you went to see him because he was a great frontman. Like,
Oh, sorry. I went to see Slash.
oh yeah, but like STP doesn't
yeah.
have that.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I bought those tickets. Then I saw Pacific Rim like the night it came out with my brother Mike, and we almost left in the first 10 minutes.
Oh no.
We almost left because it's now this movie's getting like mixed reviews, I think. This movie made the first movie look like an Academy Award winner, in my opinion.
Well, the director was is an Academy Award
Is it the
winner.
same guy?
No. Guillermo del Toro
Did the first one.
And
who did this one? Not him?
Not him.
Because it's terrible. I hated it. It fell into every...
Steve hates it. You know it's bad.
Right? Because I love crappy movies.
Yeah.
And so does my brother. My brother, like, loves Batman v Superman. And I'm like, Mike, this is just a bad movie. You can't like this movie. No, it's a lot of fun. But, like...
Batman vs. Superman?
Yeah. And he's like, dude, do you want to leave? I'm like, no, I actually paid some money for these.
No, you never leave.
It was RPX. So I had to pay some money for it. I couldn't just movie pass it because it was extra money. But I was like, no, we're staying. But this is tough, man. The concept isn't the worst concept, but they tried to force like kids into it for no reason. Like, I don't know why that's a thing now. Like, kids have to be in it and be like the lead and take charge. I didn't like that. The Jaeger, like the concept of the movie. I won't give no spoilers. I won't tell you like
They
the big
spoiled
plot.
it when they made it.
Did they? I didn't
No.
see any. I didn't see any trailers. Did the trailers spoil it or anything?
Yeah.
Oh, I get what you did. Yeah, I see what you did. There are Jaegers fighting Jaegers.
Okay.
In the trailer, I think, from what people told me. And that part of the movie was actually really cool.
Jaeger on Jaeger violence never solved anything.
People were stealing Jaeger parts from the old battleground from the first movie and building their own Jaegers.
What?
Yeah. Like
Building your own Jaegers?
This doesn't make any sense.
Aren't they as tall as a skyscraper?
Yes. And there's a little girl.
And aren't they thermonuclear powered?
No, just the one.
How are the rest powered?
I don't know. But
With
only
little sons?
the MIT got
We've
her.
come full circle.
But there's a little girl, like in the first 10 minutes, John Boyega finds this little girl who built her own Jaeger. Like, she's 12 years old. She didn't build a full-scale Jaeger. She built, like, one that's only the size of, like, I don't know, a house instead of a skyscraper. But how does a 12-year-old girl move all the parts into one place to build the Jaeger? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Why? It makes no sense. It just makes no sense. That was the first 10 minutes of the movie. I'm like, I'm out. If this is how it's going to be. And then, like, the real Jaegers are just like policemen now. Because there's no more kaijus. Because
So what are they policing?
They're policing people making their own Jaegers.
You think you'd see someone making their own Jaeger?
Right?
Like, there's not...
Oh, yeah. Like, how are you moving these parts that nobody's seeing?
Yeah, the government, like, if you try to make...
tarp.
Yeah, like, if you try to make a pipe bomb, they usually get you.
Yeah.
Like, never mind. What are you making? It's a 12-foot-tall swing set. Don't you worry about it.
What's under that sheet? It's a statue. I'm building a statue.
Like one finger is like the size of your house.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way anyone's moving these inconspicuously. It makes no sense. So that's what the Jaegers are used for. They're just policemen now. And they're fighting Jaegers that are being built by outside people. Okay?
From old Jaeger parts. So how good could they even be?
Exactly. Okay? So they only dive into that for about 5 minutes. And then they move on to the storyline, which is there's a company that's making...
Kaijus.
that's making drone Jaegers with no pilots.
Okay.
They're remotely operated, and they want to take over... They want to push pilots out of the operation. They just want to have drones so that they're there quicker, nobody gets hurt. The pilots obviously don't like this, right? The pilots of the Jaegers don't like that.
Yeah, but wait,
then they're gonna
weren't
be
the
out of a job.
Jaegers so super complicated? You needed 2 human brains.
Well,
and
this company figured out a way to do it where one person can pilot a Jaeger remotely from like an office building as a drone. Well, and now they have rocket boosters, because remember they used to have to get airlifted and dropped by the helicopters. Now they have rocket boosters that can shoot them to where they have to go. This is the big conflict in the movie, right? And you want me to spoil it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Spoiler
never going to
alert.
watch it until it comes out on TV.
Spoiler alert. The company that's making the drones, the kid from Always Sunny is working for them now.
The scientist.
The scientist, right?
From the first movie.
He has never stopped drifting with the kaijus. He gets off drifting with the kaijus.
How does he still drift with them?
He has the headpiece and he has a brain in his apartment. Like, he comes home from work one day and he starts talking dirty to who you think is a girl in the bedroom, and he's talking dirty to the kaiju brain. So you think he's just jacking off to the kaiju brain, right? But in reality, what's happening is the kaiju brain's taking him over and making him put kaiju brains I don't know where he's getting all the kaiju brains, but all the
battleground, Steve, with all the kaiju, with all the Jaeger parts.
I thought they only lasted like 20 minutes in the first movie. That's why you had to get a fresh one.
all the drones have kaiju brains in them.
Where do they keep them?
Within the drones.
Next to the sun.
The drones are running, or maybe it's the blood of the Jaegers or the kaiju, something from the kaiju, something organic from the kaiju.
He puts in them.
He puts into the drones. And then when all the drones get activated, because
they're all kaiju,
then they're going to open up the portals, and the kaijus come through the portals again.
Who's going to open up the portal?
The drones, because it's a hive brain, so all the kaijus talk to one another. Exactly. Exactly. So eventually, the drones are commissioned. All the drones get sent out all over the world, and they all link up to open up portals all over the world. So you would think.
But wait, there was only one portal in the first
right,
one.
but they're opening up portals everywhere because they have the technology, because they're kaijus.
Well, thank God all the people were making Jaegers.
Well, only 2 kaiju get through. Okay, 2 kaiju get through.
Sounds like a lot of work for just 2 kaiju.
Right? And the government-built Jaegers are getting their ass kicked by them. And guess who saves the day?
John Boyega.
Nope.
No, the homemade
The
Jaegers.
little girl's one. That's only the size of a house that she built on her own. That's the one that wins the day over. Dude, it was so fucking lame. It could have been cool.
Was there a Jaeger bomb?
There was no Jaeger bomb.
No,
I'm not going to watch it then.
So, no, technically it is the whole movie.
Yeah, the whole movie is a
bomb.
Jaeger bomb.
Pacific Rim 2, Jaeger bomb.
I didn't like it at all. And I have one more story.
Well, thanks for saving me time.
Yeah, no problem. I mean,
Did you really go into that with high expectations?
Yeah, I love the first one. And the CGI wasn't bad in this one. I got to say, the CGI was not bad. There's a fight between...
the first one
wasted time, so
too.
you don't have to.
Yeah.
But I watched the first one over again, and I'm like, this really is a solid... It's not a bad movie.
Well, you told me about it, and I was like, it can't be good. And I watched it. I was like, it's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
Well, no, it's got a good director.
Yeah.
And...
Good actors.
The actors
except for the
are
one
good.
guy.
Who?
The guy from Sons of Anarchy. He's bad in that movie.
Yeah.
He's pretty bad. And the Asian girl. She's, she wasn't... She had no emotions.
The only one I want, is Pentecost in that movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Well... John Boyega's...
Stacker Pentecost.
But
the greatest name ever.
Boyega's his son.
Yeah.
And it makes no sense why he's in the situation he's in. He's like a rebel who quit the Air Force or whatever they call it, the PPDC, whatever they call it. They have a name for whoever does the Jaegers. But anyway, the last thing I got to tell you, which is a quick story and it's pretty funny. So I drive to work now, pretty much every day of the week.
They gave you your license back?
I never got my license taken away. What are you talking about?
Got suspended, you know that?
I did not.
Did it?
Yeah.
Why? What are you going to make up here? Let's hear it.
Just driving while I was naked.
I don't know what he's talking about. They don't suspend your license for that.
The 12th time they do.
Oh, right.
Well, they did when they actually step out of the car. They said, hey, get back in. We're taking away your license.
Just get back in. Roll your window down a little bit. Slide your license out of it. Call someone to pick you up.
So, I park on the side of my school.
Put your kaiju away.
And
did you hit somebody's car again and someone videotape you?
No, I did not. This is actually better, and it's pretty funny.
He destroyed 3 bathrooms this time, and the lady caught him.
So every day, like I do, because I'm an old man, I park in the same exact parking spot.
Handicapped.
It doesn't matter how many spots are free. I will always park in the same spot, right next to this upscale building with apartment building in New York City. Right?
How does the spot always there?
Because it's that side of the street is for faculty.
Oh.
So the entire side of the street from the corner to about 3/4 of the way down is all for faculty on that block. So now our school has a skyscraper next to it, an apartment building that's about 40 stories high. We have the first 6 floors of that building as the school, and the rest of the building is all luxury apartments. Okay? So I always park right in front of the doors of this building. Mm-hmm. Because it's right next to the exit of the school where I go to the bathroom at 2:30 and then I leave, right? So every morning I see the similar people coming out of the apartment building.
Right.
Businessmen, businesswomen, their kids coming out, whatever. Every day they're getting Ubers, right? And the Uber pulls up, people are getting in, I park. Sometimes I have to wait for the Uber to leave so I can pull into my spot, whatever. So I stop my car, I put it in park, I'm getting my briefcase. Now I have a black SUV. Okay, and it's a nice black SUV, nice interior. I open the door and I hear the door open next to me, in the back door. I'm like, what the hell? So I turn around, and there's a girl with her briefcase. Says, where am I supposed to sit? And I'm like, I'm not your Uber. You think I'm your Uber?
Right here.
Right? She opened the back seat because she saw the 2 baby seats. She's like, where am I supposed to sit? I'm like,
My friend Joe sits in the Batman seat all the time.
You're not trying hard enough.
So all of a sudden, a black Lincoln pulls up next to me. And I'm like, and the doorman's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. This is your car over here. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, yeah, no worries. Don't worry about it. And then she gets in the car and leaves. And I look at the guy. I'm like, hey, maybe I should be an Uber driver, make some extra cash on the side. And he started laughing and whatever. But I thought that was funny that I basically had to kick a lady out of my car because she thought I was her Uber. Thought that was funny, right? But yeah, that's how I wasted
I would have
time.
moved the car seats and put her in the car and be like, okay, you can pay me now.
No, it's all paid through the app. I would have driven. I was early to work about a half hour. I probably could have got
Drive her
her.
around the city. Did you ever see the movie Taken?
Oh, Jesus.
Just call work. You'll understand when I tell you the story later. I'm going to be a little late. Where do you want to go? Downtown, huh? Just start heading north.
Take her to Philadelphia.
That's funny, though. Yeah. So, this week, we're going to talk about jobs. And jobs that we've had, jobs we've had in the past. Good jobs, bad jobs. Me and Joe didn't have so many jobs, apparently. Mike's had a lot more jobs than us. Mike came up with a script for this show. So, as always, I'm gonna give it up to Mike.
Oh, are you going to give it up to me? All right. Because I didn't write them in any kind of order.
That's okay.
So what spurred me on to this was our conversation last week about... Because at the end of Ready Player One, he gets the Oasis, right? Mm-hmm. And that's like the ultimate dream job. And then I'm like, would that be the dream job?
For him, maybe.
But would it be like that? He's running the biggest company in the world that everyone in the world deals with.
Yeah, but he's doing it because...
No, I know. So that, like, and I put, like, would you want a job that's that high profile?
I think once you're that high profile, you don't do a lot of work. Like, you know CEOs of businesses, do they really, like,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that
probably
question.
go to board meetings and look at charts.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, because if you're the guy from Facebook, aren't you driving the direction the company's going in? And, like, you can see the difference in Apple with and without Steve Jobs. I don't think he was designing iPhones, but he's the guy steering the ship. You know what I mean? They bring him a design. He goes, nope.
Yeah.
I want that smaller. Like, look at...
Well, that job doesn't sound so bad. If you just bring me some stuff, and I'm like, no, I want it
my
smaller.
favorite... No, but, like, do you want a job like that? Like, would you want... Like, my favorite company in the world is the Walt Disney Company.
Yeah.
That company struggled for 30 years almost when Walt Disney died.
Yeah.
Like, they were directionless.
Yeah.
They could not get it together. And it took another visionary leader. Mm-hmm. Like, say whatever you want about Michael Eisner. He restored that company because he came in with a singular focus.
Right.
And a lot of those leaders have that. And I don't know if you'd want a job like that. I know the answer for me. 100%.
Yeah, me too. I think 100%. Too.
I would love that kind of job where I'm in charge of a giant company and I can steer it in my direction. I think that'd be... One, it's good for the ego.
Right, yeah.
But two, like, I think I would like to say, like, what could I do with this?
Yeah.
Like, you have all the ability in the world to do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. Like, I always feel like I'm limited by, like, I don't have the funds or the time to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I think that'd be super fun to do.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
You know, be the next Steve Jobs.
Or try to.
Yeah. I don't think Joe's... No. Doesn't look like he's
Joe just wants to be a worker bee.
Yeah.
You can work for our companies.
But that's
fine.
I
wouldn't want to work for a company.
Oh, you want to own your own business?
I would. You always talk about getting your hands dirty.
I do.
And I would rather do something like that.
Oh, and that's why I'm asking. It's to each his own.
So here's the question: what's your dream job?
I was gonna
like if
Jesus, right to the end.
Oh, I didn't even read them.
No,
I'm sorry.
Foreplay, no nothing.
You know, that's usually how I work.
So my next question was, because again, relating back to our last week topic, those people in the book worked VR jobs.
Right.
That's exact opposite of getting your hands dirty.
Right.
Would you want to do that? Would you be willing to, like, go every day, slap on a headset, and go, I'm going to work, and walk down?
That's the equivalent of a cubicle.
Yeah, that's like I think I would kill myself.
No, I did it for a little bit, and I wanted to kill myself.
I think I'd kill myself.
That's why I don't have a cubicle job.
Yeah, I think I'd hate it.
Oh, now that I think of it, I think I did have more than 4 jobs. There you go.
Yeah, so I think those kind of jobs are coming.
Right.
You know, like where. How far are we from, like, sitting and interacting with a screen to, like, it's way more easy to pop it on your head and you can be in a virtual office.
Right.
You know, like, seriously, like, what? You know, what's the difference?
Yeah.
Did I send you guys the picture when I was at McDonald's and everything is screen automated now?
No, that's coming.
Like you just order off the screen.
Yeah, it's there now.
No, it's on 14th Street near my job.
You walk in and a lady comes over to you and is like, can I help you? instead of like ordering your food to a person, you go to a screen, you pick what you want.
Just so you know, like we're a little bit outside of that generation, but I live in that world every day. That is what everything customer service is going to be in 5 years because we're getting priced out. Like I can't afford to pay young kids to do the job because of how high we've made minimum wage and how expensive we made operating a business. And that should, whatever your political stance are, that's the reality. We cannot pay them. Right. So in order to not pay them, we integrate technology.
Right.
So that's coming. Like McDonald's is just ahead of it.
Like you don't pay your checks to people anymore. You pay your check at the table.
No, never.
Because I the first time I went to your restaurant at one of your chains, I'm sitting there and I'm like, can I have the check? And she's like,
you have it, you old fart. Look.
She did look at me funny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just want the check. And she's like, and you could see like,
because she didn't expect it. She's like, how is he the world's oldest young man? And Grandpa, look.
And the thing that my son is playing games on is your check thing.
He signed it Benjamin Button.
And you just sit like, pay now.
Steve Button.
And I'm like, but I have paper money. Don't you take my paper money?
No. I need to see your ID. It says you're 96.
I look good, don't I?
No, that's like when
He's an old man, no hair, wrinkled.
We talked about that at work. Like we used to get, before we got to those systems, we would have, I don't know, maybe $20,000, $30,000 to drop to the bank.
Yeah.
At the end of a week now, if we have $3,000.
That's hysterical.
Like, it's just people, everyone's like, oh, card, swipey swipe, way easier. But, yeah, so, okay. So then I have some other questions about work, right? Okay. Now, this is not going to be on our normal funny shenanigans stuff, but I wrote, are you defined by your work? And what I mean by that is, lots of people work in order to have a life, right? Like to pay for their life. And then there's other people who have a life just so they can work. And like they're very different ideas, right?
If I had my choice, I would never work.
Okay.
So I would never have a job.
I'm not, I like having a job so that it provides me a living, but I could never not work.
That's a different answer from what I said. Because I would always be doing, so if I won the lotto and I had all the money in the world and I never had to work a day in my life, I would operate a recording studio or...
Yeah, I'd still have a job.
Yeah.
I still have a job.
But
it'd be a job of my choosing, but I still have a job.
But I cannot financially cannot work. There's no way I could just stop working financially.
No, that wasn't the question.
Oh.
The question was, some people work every day because that's the way they define their life.
Right.
Their work
like,
is
I'm an accountant.
Yes. When you ask them what they are, they say, I'm an accountant.
Right.
If you ask me what I am,
working 24 hours.
The last thing I say is I'm a restaurant manager.
Yeah.
I don't say that.
Right.
Like I'm a dad, I'm a father.
Yeah.
Like I don't ever say.
Like I find myself, I feel like I'm a good teacher, but I don't define myself as...
Correct. That's my question. Some people do, and I'm
Right.
fine with that, but that's what some people define themselves as.
Yeah. No, I don't define myself as that.
No.
You say I'm a stretch it out, ice it up guy?
Yeah.
Rice it up, baby.
Joe, what are you? I'm rice. Look at this tattoo, rice.
It's just one
grain.
Right?
No, I figured like the eye would be cold. The C would be compressed.
Just squeeze like a mummy.
Yeah.
You go to like a bazaar or something like that, and you get your name written on the little grain of rice and right around your neck. Mine says Joe.
I wish I feel like I'm very creative, and I don't like that's all my hobbies are creative outlets.
Correct. Mine as well.
You know,
Yep.
and I wish I could make a living doing creative stuff, but you just can't.
Right.
That's not true.
Well, you can.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all.
Struggle. I think it would be a big struggle.
Okay.
You know,
I agree with you in that statement, but
podcast,
it clearly can be done.
Oh, sure, it can be done, but it's gonna be my whole world is gonna suffer from it. My family will suffer from it.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll suffer from it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
This has been something I've struggled with for years now.
Yeah.
I have a job. I don't hate it, but I don't love it.
Right.
I'm very good at it, but I'd be good, like, this is not sound cocky, I'd be good at almost any job because I am going to work very, very hard.
Yeah.
I'm like, my parents may be a hard worker, but like, there are days I come home from work and I'm just like miserable.
Yeah.
After coming out of dealing with it.
Sure.
Like if you came home from something you loved, like that misery doesn't come home with you. And while you may not be as financially successful, maybe you'd be spiritually more fulfilled. And I'm not a religious guy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think you're going to have misery.
Like, I'm sure those days where you come home and you make your wife crazy and she's like, what the fuck is up his ass.
I think
and like fucking work sucks, and you take it out on everybody else.
I think that kind of goes hand in hand, though, however you look at that picture. Because if you're doing what you love, but you're not financially stable, your worries and your stresses kind of flip-flop. Because now what was stable and you weren't as happy as doing, now you're worrying about your stability and you're doing something that's happy.
I agree with you, but I don't think any one of us is making enough money where you're like, it's worth being miserable at work for all the monies.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm not that miserable at work, though.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not... I really enjoy my job.
Same here.
Oh, all right.
I enjoy going to work. I don't like the commute. The commute pisses me off, but
If
the
I could
job
do
itself
things
is good.
differently at my job, I most certainly would. But
Like, my father hated his fucking
That's what I mean.
job.
That's what I mean.
He
And that's,
every day. My brother hated his job so much. My brother was making almost $250,000 a year, plus a $40,000 bonus.
Yeah.
He gave it all up. To do garage
and
floors.
is he happier now?
He's broke.
Is he happier now?
No. Well, yes.
Yes.
Yes, he's way happier now, but
And
he's
that's
broke.
so. I'm a big fan of the Joe Rogan podcast,
Yeah.
and one thing he has said over and over again, he thinks most men in this world, because of the environment we live in, the way we work, he said live lives of quiet desperation.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is a really elegant way to put that.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're taught to be quiet, and you work your life as we do, but it's just quiet desperation.
Yeah.
And I think that's really true.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of guys, if you got up and be like, would you go to your job today if you didn't have to? They'd go, absolutely not. You know, what would you rather be doing? Anything else.
Right. Yeah.
And like, I think if you could pick your job, so gets me to one of my questions. When you were a little kid, what was your dream job?
Oh, fighter pilot.
Was it really?
As a little kid, fighter
Okay.
pilot. 100%
Really?
fighter pilot. Yeah. That's what I wanted to do. Top Gun. I told you about the helmet I made.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all about that.
And like, there's
I had the bomber
something
jacket.
to that. There's
Yeah.
something to like, when you're a kid, what do you want to be? And it's just like, because there was no thought of like, is that financially? Like, that
Yeah.
never
No.
thought of it.
Yeah.
You know, you just like, what do you want to be?
Yeah, I didn't think about having to live on a boat and not being
Yeah.
able to, have to relocate
No, but
all
it's
the
just because
time.
that'd be super fun.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd be a badass.
Yeah.
Fucking fighter pilot.
What about you, Joe?
I want to be an artist. I want to draw comics.
That's awesome. Like, that's what I want to do now.
Yeah.
But as a kid, I wanted to be a fighter
I was
pilot.
actually a pretty good artist back then, and then you just stop doing things and you forget.
Pick it back up, Joe.
10,000 hour practice.
Yeah.
Joe. Malcolm Gladwell rule. 10,000 hours.
All we gotta do is pick it back up. Just
That's
like you did to me.
Yeah. So you think you'd be happier if you were an animator now
I don't know.
or an artist?
I think as I grew up, my perspective on life changed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
But okay, so that's my question. Did it, or did you just go, that's a hard way to live, and I wouldn't make any money? And does that outweigh like it'd be super fun to draw Spider-Man every day?
Yeah.
Like, you know
Yeah,
what I
but
mean?
like-
I think that happens.
Like, I want to be an animator, but I can't draw good enough to make a
no,
living.
but if you
Even if I was really good, it's hard to make a living.
yes, but that doesn't mean it's anything worth doing is hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, but like...
My job's very hard.
But good artists are struggling.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm not a good artist.
No, I know. But you also didn't put in the
So, yeah.
thousands
No, I
of
know.
hours of practice they did.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's equally as absurd. When I was a kid, I wanted to be an Imagineer.
Yeah.
Like, more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, as I got older, I'm like, well, like, I do well in school. I guess I should become a doctor. And that's and that defined me for a decade. Like,
Yeah.
once I started doing well in school, they're like, that you're smart, you should go be a doctor. I'm like, I'm going to be a doctor.
Yeah.
And then I got to doing that, and I'm like, I don't want to be a fucking doctor.
Yeah.
Like, and you just lose that. Like, I wanted to do something super creative.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went, I'm going to do something that's super not creative. Like,
Right.
it's amazing how that happens.
See, I think I kind of got lucky because I kind of fell into that thing too, where I wanted to be a lab worker. I wanted to be a researcher, and that defined me. Like you said, you put it perfect. That defined me from the end of high school all the way through graduate school. And then I always had this knack for teaching. Like, whenever kids had, like, would they raise their hand and the teacher couldn't understand what the hell they were asking? Did you ever have that in class? You're sitting in class and this poor kid's asking the teacher a question and the teacher's not answering him correctly?
Oh, I would just roll my eyes at that kid.
Well, no,
You're slowing us all down.
Well, I would always look at the kid and I'd be like, no, this is what he means. Like, and I would rephrase the question to the teacher, and then the teacher would be able to answer him.
Right.
So I always had this knack for kind of understanding what people were missing and how to help them figure something out. So I think I fell in naturally into teaching, or like I got lucky falling into, because that wasn't my thing. That wasn't my goal in life. My goal was to go get a PhD and work in a lab and do stuff like that. And I did it for a little while. I had an internship and I absolutely hated it. And a friend of mine was like, listen, we need a science teacher for a little bit. Would you mind doing it? And I absolutely loved it. I think I kind of just got lucky.
Right.
So maybe that's why I don't hate my job as much. Because, like, at least... Well, I did hate my last job. My last teaching job was terrible because of my boss. But, I don't know. I think I just got lucky, and I was kind of meant to do some type of teaching. Because, like, they always say, if you can't do, teach. Right? That's like a phrase what they say about... You know,
I think it's meant derogatory.
No, it's derogatory, but it's...
And those who can't teach English.
But it's kind of true. Right? I mean... But there are,
I don't know if it is. There are great teachers, and then
Yeah.
there are people who just do it because, like, I guess I won't work summers. Like, you can tell the difference.
Right.
Yes.
No,
Like,
I know.
I can list the teachers who are like, oh my God, I hated math till you explained it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, I've worked with PhDs who cannot teach science.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't have a PhD, and I don't understand science as well as that person. And I don't keep up with all the articles as much as I should. But I can teach this kid photosynthesis better than that guy ever could. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, 100%.
And
100%.
And
I get it.
I find joy in that. You know,
So that's good.
Yeah. But it's not my dream job. I would much rather be an animator or a fighter pilot.
So that's my next question is, what's your dream job now? And are you doing it?
I'm not. Well, I don't think I'm doing it.
I'm not
That's not
doing
my
it.
dream job. I would love to record and produce music. I really liked, like, me and Joe recorded a lot of music over the years because we tried our hand at it. That was something we were passionate about. We were creative about it. And Joe was the writer and you know, and did a lot of stuff. And I really love producing music, making something sound like it could be on the radio. I love documentaries, like all the behind the music documentaries. I love, you know, to see how sounds got created, how Metallica made the Black Album, how they made the noises or the sounds of the guitar sound the way they did, how they overdub stuff, how they used to do it in the 60s compared to doing it today.
So that I think illustrates it perfectly. You just said, I don't really keep up with all the science reading, but you'll read.
Oh, sure.
Like, there's a disparity there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that is what that's what I mean. Like, the stuff you love, you'll do for hours.
Yeah.
And never get paid for it.
Right.
And I don't think enough, and men or women, find jobs that do that. Because if you can do that, then it's not work.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
If I come home and I got to break down a spreadsheet for a restaurant, I'm like,
Yeah.
just because I can do it.
Make a lesson plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many of those jobs exist for
Lots.
people?
We just
think
don't.
so?
We don't look for them. We're not taught to. We're not taught to as children. I'm really trying to teach my kids differently. I'm like, you don't want to go to college, that's fine. I'd rather you be happy what you do.
Right.
I way rather that. I would rather you find something that fulfills you.
Yeah.
Than makes you money. Because you know what money, you know, at the very end, you know, when you shuffle loose the mortal coil, you're not like, I got $100,000 in the bank. Like, that's not what it's going to be.
You're like, I didn't get to do this.
Correct.
I didn't do that.
Yep. I wasted. That's what, when they ask everyone what their biggest regret is, it's how much time they wasted doing things they didn't love.
Yeah.
That's
Time's the one
always
thing
what
you don't
hear.
have enough of.
You never can get more of it. Anything else you can get more of. No, I have taken a very different approach to that now. I'm trying to figure out how to do it for myself. I want to do something I love. I want to get up every day and be excited to go to work. I'm not excited to go to work. You know what I mean? Like, when the alarm goes off, I'm not like, woohoo! But, like, when I'm doing stuff I love, like, if I know I'm off on a Saturday, I will jump out of bed and make breakfast for my kids.
Right.
I work at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Like, what's the difference, though? Like, I love doing that. I don't love going and dealing with, like, you know what your labor was last night? I'm like, no, but I'm sure it wasn't great. Like, I don't enjoy that stuff as much. And I'm good at it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good at what I do. I get paid well for it. Like, I'm good at it. I would love to love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Let's say I had my dream job.
Yes.
Let's say I owned a recording studio and I produced music.
Yes.
There's definitely going to be days where I got to be like, I don't want to go to the studio today.
Oh, yeah.
Even though that's what the thing I love to do.
Yeah, but it'll be way less.
Yeah. All
Way
right.
less.
But you're never going to get rid of those days.
No.
I don't think.
No.
Because I'm sure there are days where Todd Nauck gets up and is like, I don't feel like drawing today.
Of course. Yes. Of course.
You know?
Of course. Yeah.
But
So I wrote, are you content doing this for the rest of your life, or will you try your hand at a second career? Like, we're all reasonably young, right?
yeah, I think so. We're all the same age.
Yeah. So if you put
question is
in 20 years from today,
Yeah.
you'd
so
be
be
55. And
Yeah.
I would have put in almost 40 years of restaurants at that point.
Right. I'm 12 years in, 13 years
Right.
in.
I've been working in restaurants since I was like 18. Mm-hmm. right? So at that point, even at 50, you're still way too young to retire in my mind.
Right.
Okay.
You could easily pick up a second career.
Right.
Would you? Because I got my brother. My brother's a cop, right? He said he's like 42. I get my pension. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you gonna do? He's like a second career. I'm like,
Well, that's
what?
what Nicole said.
He's like something completely different.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's really intriguing.
Yeah.
You know, because I've been paying into a 401k, and at some point I'm gonna be like, well, I've done enough of this. I can go pay into a 401k.
Yeah.
Somewhere else.
Right.
Right.
So, or like, you know, a retirement plan somewhere else. Like, why not go do something else at some point? You know, like if you're going to earn a pension, right? If you're in a union or whatever, once you've earned that pension.
Well, the things that I want to do, I'm not sure if I'm good enough to do.
I'm sure you
As
weren't.
a second
I'm
job.
sure you weren't good enough at teaching at first. You got better through practice and honing your craft.
Yeah, but I don't know if I'd be able to get a job producing music.
I bet you didn't know if you could get a
50 years old.
I bet you didn't know if you can get a job teaching when you first started.
Yeah, I did. I did. I was
What if
sure
you got
we-
a job as a roadie?
At 50?
Yeah, 55.
Well, like let's say you.
Well,
like,
it wasn't even roadie. My question was, would you want a second career? Would you want to do something else some point in
Yeah,
your
sure.
life?
Yes.
we said music, and I'm just trying to put.
Yeah,
it into
yeah.
perspective.
No, you could do something.
Yeah.
Like you may not be the guy behind the panels, but if you were the guy that set everything up every day for everybody,
The engineer.
Like the guitar tech.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind being a guitar tech.
what if you came in like set up the amps, tune the guitars, get everything going?
Yeah, that could be cool. But then, like, that's just like a part-time job. I don't know. That's like my dad getting the job at the zoo.
I would do something. I'm going to do something completely different at some point.
Yeah.
I've already
Completely
started,
different.
so
You
Yeah.
already started? What you already start doing?
I've kind of started a small business,
Doing what?
personal training.
Oh, that's right. Your running class.
Yeah.
How'd that
Yeah,
go?
I have,
Remember the
I
running?
have, I have a client.
Good for you.
Yeah, so something I'm going to do on the side.
You
and
want to promote that here? Or
No,
anything?
not yet,
Not
not
yet.
yet.
Tambini's
But yeah, I mean,
It's running with Joe.
running with Joe.
Now
Running
you
with
know.
Joe. Moving your legs is half the battle.
Oh, you tell me you put that on a sticker or a business card.
On a cookie. Put it on a cookie. Give out cookies. Protein cookies.
No, but I'll do something else. I will 100% do something else because at some point I'm like, I when I thought about that, I'm like, I've been doing this for almost 20 years already.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do that I don't want to do this for 40 years. Life's too short. I want to do something else.
yeah.
You know, I'm only gonna get like so much out of what I do now.
Yeah.
You know, like how good am I gonna get at like managing staff before you're like, I want to try a new challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be something that's going to challenge you, or something that's going to free up some time?
I think it was something that challenged me is more important.
Okay.
I would really like to have a really. I am very much a flight of fancy guy. I get very hyper focused on one thing, and then I quickly move on to something else. You've seen it.
Yeah, yeah.
Board games and archery. I'm super like I'm into that, and then I move on. I would love to find some kind of job that would let me do that, and I don't even know what that would be, but something that would let me like I can get hyper focused and into something, and I will read and consume everything I can about it. Like that's what happened with cooking.
Yeah.
Like I'm like I like cooking, and then I just consumed everything. Like read every book I can find, watched every YouTube video I could find, like every podcast. Like that's all. That was my life. And then when I get good at it, I'm like, all right, now what?
You know what I could see us doing in 20 years? I could see us flipping houses. Like doing the work ourselves kind of thing.
Yeah. Again,
Because I would love to learn how to do everything there is to do in a house.
but again, I think
construction-wise.
that after 2 years, I'd be like, all right, we're good at this. What's next?
Yeah.
I'm very much like that.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm very.
But you don't
much
think
like
that would go for everything, though?
Oh, 100%
Yeah, okay.
everything.
Oh.
I would love to. I'd love to be able to figure out something that would let me do that.
Okay.
Like hyper focused on something for a couple of years, get good at, and then when soon as
Yeah.
I'm bored, be like, all right, what's next?
Yeah.
It's a really hard way to live. I
Right.
couldn't even imagine how you'd make that work.
Right.
But that's just the way I'm wired. So I wrote, all right, what was your greatest job yet? What was the worst job you ever had? Let's start there.
My worst job was my first job.
Uh-oh, what was that?
My first job was I was the kid in the pizzeria who kind of like just did all the errands. I worked for 4 days. My brother got me a job in a pizzeria for 4 days.
That's not a job.
I got paid. I was there. I did work. I got paid. So
4 days.
4 days. They stole my pay. The people at the job stole my pay. So there was this pizzeria. It was Al's Pizzeria on Jewett Avenue, Staten Island. It's not there anymore. My brother Mike made a living. Well, from 15 to like 25, my brother Mike worked in pizzerias, 2 pizzerias. He was a really good pizza guy, my brother. He always wanted to open up a pizzeria, but he ended up being an accountant. He would have loved this episode. But he gets me a job at Al's because I was his brother and got me a job real easy. And I learned how to make the meatballs. Meatballs were made every Saturday. Dough was made every Sunday or something like that.
You only had 2 more days. So what'd you learn on Monday and Tuesday?
Well, I know I only worked on the weekends because I was like 13. I was like 13, so I only worked like Friday night, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
So I learned those 2 things. Then, like, people would get on the intercom, we need more dough, and I'd have to go in the back and get the dough and bring it out and prep stuff and clean things and chop vegetables for the day or
so
whatever.
what I do every day.
Yeah, exactly. I was, but I had to, and at the end of the night, I had to mop everything and clean the bathrooms and whatever.
Again, so what I'm in charge of overseeing every day. Again.
Yeah, but I was actually doing that stuff, and I was like, clean the bathrooms, like,
Yeah, but I did all that stuff at one point.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So there was, so after the first weekend, they were like, "Oh, Mike's little brother, come hang out with us." And what they come hang out with us entailed me buying them booze. So we all hung out outside the pizzeria on the sidewalk.
Right.
It was like me, like the 40-year-old pizza guy, the 20-year-old waitress, and maybe a delivery guy and me, 13. They took my $80 that I made over the past 2 days, went and bought $60 worth of booze. I remember it was Angry Apple Orchard bullshit.
Ugh.
It was like apple cider that they made me buy.
That's why he puts orange juice in his beer.
And I had
Traumatic experience.
I bought a couple of 6-packs.
Can't even smell orange apple juice. Just starts crying.
I bought a couple of 6-packs for everybody, and the girl wanted the Angry Apple Orchard stuff.
Angry Apple Orchard.
So they got me completely wrecked at like 2 a.m. And like my mom came by, she's like, "Are you coming home? Like, how late is the pizzeria?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm coming home." And I stumbled into my mom's car at 2 a.m, completely wrecked. All the people are like, "Hi, Mrs. Articelli, how you doing?" And I leave.
Say hi to Mike.
Yeah, say hi to Mike, right, exactly. So the next week I come back, and I was a really hard day. It was a really busy day in the pizzeria. And the whole time I'm running stuff up to the front, getting stuff in the back, prepping stuff, running stuff up to the front all day. It finally slowed down, and it was like, "All right, Steve, start breaking down." So I start wiping up. I cleaned everything. Mopped the whole restaurant area because it was a restaurant pizzeria kind of thing.
Right.
I mopped the whole restaurant area. I mopped the kitchen. No more orders came in for like an hour. Right. All of a sudden they get an order for a takeout for chicken parm, something like that. And the fucking cook drops an entire chicken parm on the floor that I just fucking mopped.
Did that on purpose.
Right. Like, he obviously didn't.
Yeah, he had to recook it. He
didn't want to drop it either. But he didn't just drop the chicken parm. Like, he dropped all the ingredients separately of the chicken parm. Like, there were 2 eggs cracked, breadcrumbs. Like, and it was in there's these big rubber mats that have holes in them.
Yeah.
In the back.
Non-slip restaurant mats. They're a nightmare to clean.
And, like, I have to pull these things weigh.
Yeah, they're
heavy.
probably 40 or 50 pounds.
And I'm a 100-pound 13-year-old kid.
And they're like a 6x8 mat.
Yeah, they're huge.
So it's real unwieldy.
Yeah.
And they're filthy.
Yeah, and I have to drag them out to the back.
And hose them down,
Hose them down, then clean the floor in the pizzeria, and then drag them back in clean. And he just drops an entire chicken parm on, and I was like, "Fuck this, I'm done." It's like, I'm fucking done. They're just gonna steal my fucking paycheck at the end.
3 days in.
4 days. 4 days in, I was like, "Fuck this," and I never went back.
What a little pussy.
I never went back. And then like a month later, I got a job at a sporting goods store, which I stayed at for like 5-6 years. But that's my worst job. That was my worst job.
How about you, Joe?
For me, it's probably my first job out of school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and you get a job that's going to give you some experience, and you try to take what you can and learn what you can.
Yeah.
But there's only so much you can do when you're just abused every day. Just mentally and physically. Just from just getting taken advantage of. Like you could tell when someone's working you to the bone.
Yeah.
And you get nothing for it. Not even a pat on the back, a good job, a thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You just come in, you work, and every day you could see that work schedule gets a little bit heavier.
Yeah.
Because the more you're able to do, they're like, we're gonna squeeze this in. See if Joe will do it. And you have to do it.
Right.
It's either you do it or you lose your job.
Right.
And what do you do when you don't have any experience?
Mm-hmm.
You try to stick it out for as long as you can.
Right.
I fucking hated that job.
What was it? You still didn't say what it was.
It was my first job out of therapy school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I
Physical therapying.
Yeah.
Arising?
Yes.
Physical therapy arising?
What about you, Mike?
I've had a lot of bad jobs.
Yeah?
Yeah. Worst gig was probably a restaurant. a restaurant on Long Island that was way more of a bar than a restaurant, and we used to stay open till kitchen stayed open till 3, dining room bar stayed open till 4, and then clean up. So I would go in at 5 and get out at 5.
Mm-hmm.
So there were plenty of times where I went in, it was sunny out, and when I got out of work, it was fucking sunny out again. Like that will wreck you physically.
I had a job like that. I was a TA in graduate school, so they paid for me to go to school, but I had to work for the school.
Right.
So I would have to teach a class. I was like the lab assistant, so I would have to be in at 8:00 to teach the lab with the teacher. The teacher would lecture the first hour, then I would do the lab the second hour. But he wanted me there when he was lecturing, so I knew what he was talking about. And then I had class at 6. So I wasn't going to go home.
Right.
Finding parking in downtown Brooklyn's a pain in the ass.
Right.
So I stayed, the lab was from 8 to 12.
So you did the opposite.
Yeah, the
you
lab
go in the
was
dark and come out in the dark. Yeah,
dude.
I still have that a lot.
Depressing.
Yeah.
Depressing.
Yeah, that's true, Joe.
Because I wouldn't leave till 8:00 because I had class at 6. And, oh my God, it was so depressing. Like pitch black dark. Like not sunrise coming up. No, dark.
Because it's in the winter, you go in before. I have that now happen a lot. But this job, we did we did 10-cent drinks certain nights of the week.
Oh my God.
So for $1,
yeah,
you could get 10 shots of tequila.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and I can think of 3 or 4 stories there that were just Yankees were in the playoffs, and it was a playoff game, and the boss was like, "Hey Mike, how many kegs of beer do you think? Pitchers of beer did we sell here tonight?" I'm like, "Well, no, it's a good question." It was just at the end of the 6th inning, and he's like, "Let's look," and we looked, and we were doing $5 pitchers. We had sold 900.
Holy shit!
And I said, "What's our capacity?" He's like, 250, 300. I'm like, "Everyone's had 3 pitchers of beer."
Wow.
And he's like, "Oh, that's a problem, isn't it?" And he jumped up on the bar, and he's like, "Just like the ballpark, we're done serving in the 7th inning." And I was like, what are you doing? There's going to be a riot. And we actually had to stand up on tables, all the staff, to just so you were above people when you were talking to them, they'd listen to you.
Wow.
And couldn't hit you or throw stuff at you. I was like, what am I doing? And then I had another day, it was a big, big drinking place. I had a giant guy, 300 plus pound guy come up to me. And he's like, "Can I get we had sold merch shirts. He's like, "Can I get an extra small?" And I'm like, we don't, I don't have extra small. So we dug through and we didn't have it. He's like, all right. And then later on, they're like, "Mike, you need to go to this table. There's a guy that doesn't have a shirt on."
Oh, Jesus.
And I walked over, and it's the same dude.
Yeah.
And he's wrecked. And I was like, "Sir, you got to put your shirt on." He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Sir, you got to put your shirt on. You can't be in a restaurant without a shirt." He's like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm not being indecent. I got my nipples covered." And he shows me his nipples, and he has 2 little pieces of toilet paper, when you cut yourself shaving, over his nipples. And that, it infuriated me, because he had thought that out, Yeah. "What? I'm not being indecent. I got my nipples covered." And I was like, this is really what I do. And that was the Jets game. And the same goddamn day, I have to stand up at the front door to take glasses from people walking out. Right? They're like, "Imagine he's by the front door. He just, give me that glass. And a guy walks up to me and just falls. Boom. And I was trying, I'm wearing a green shirt when the Jets are playing, a blue one the Giants plays. I had a green shirt on.
Right.
And this guy face plants. Now, I should have tossed him. But I'm like, you know what? Instead of getting the bouncer, I'm just like, "Hey, buddy." And I reach my hand down, and he slapped my hand away. And I'm like, "Dude, I'm just trying to help you out." He's like, "Fuck you, green shirt." And I'm like, this is really what I'm doing for a living? I took that guy by the collar and then dragged him outside.
That's amazing.
I'm like, what am I doing? Yeah. A guy hit me with a beer mug there.
Ooh.
Yeah. He had his bar stool above his head.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Buddy, you got to put the bar stool down." He's like, "Mariano's striking out the side." I'm like, "You got to put the bar stool down."
Right.
And he's like, all right. I turn around and he hit me in the back with his mug.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, yeah, that was the worst. I worked that job for 6 months.
Jesus.
The day I got it, and that was a good paying job. The day I got it, I was like,
I would have lasted 1 insult.
I was like, "Oh, this was a big mistake." And I was immediately looking for another job. Immediately.
Wow.
And I probably have 40 stories from that place of breaking up fights.
Right.
Being in fights. The cops came there so often. When they'd come in, they would whoever the manager on duty was, they're like, "We got to put incident report. Give me your name, your license," right?
Right.
By my 2nd or 3rd week, he's like, "Guy to Howard Beach, right?" And he just started writing. And I'm like, "You've memorized my information off my license?" He's like, "Yeah, we come here a lot." I was like, "What the hell?"
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was a nightmare of a job. I hated that freaking job. National restaurant chain too. Yeah, so that was by far the worst job. I mean, I've had some bad ones, but that one was like I was like, I'm 30 and I don't want to be in fights anymore. Steve made that call at 3. He's like, I'm never 3. I made it this far. Never gonna get in a fist fight. I just didn't want to do it anymore. So, worst jobs. What was your best job?
I think I'm currently working my best job.
Same here.
Like, I'm not even like trying to kiss ass or anything like that. But, no, I'm serious. Like I really my first teaching job I worked at for 6 years, and the first 2 years might have been the best 2 working years of my life. So maybe that is ahead, but like overall for the entire experience, my current job, I don't want to leave my current job. I love my current job. But so like the first 2 years of my first teaching job were great, and then it went downhill because we got a new boss and a new principal, and my whole life like kind of went upside down after that. But this job's great. I really enjoy this job. But again, I haven't had that many jobs. Like I worked in a pizzeria where I worked for 4 days. Then I worked at a sporting goods store. The sporting goods store was great, but it was like I was a cashier at a sporting goods store. How good could it be? Then I worked at American Eagle for a couple of years.
I wish you still worked there.
Why? We can't pull off those. You could. You could pull off those clothes. I can't.
I got discounts all the time.
Yeah, 5-finger discounts.
Yeah, but now you're 35, not 15.
Right.
Like, you're going to look weird in American Eagle. Maybe not.
The jeans, you can pull off the jeans. No one knows what kind of jeans you have on. But the t-shirts and stuff, I don't know if I can pull those off anymore. I wouldn't wear t-shirts. And then what did I do
Weird
after
t-shirts.
that?
I buy fucking superhero t-shirts.
What?
I'm in double digits on jobs.
No, then I worked at, then I was the TA, and then I had an internship with the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene to see if I liked being a lab rat, and I didn't like being a lab rat. And then I got my first teaching job, and then I got my second teaching job.
So 5.
And I got my third teaching job.
So 5?
6.
6.
Yeah.
I think I'm on 12.
Wow. Yeah, like my brother had a billion jobs growing up. My brother Tom had a billion jobs growing up. He did everything. He bartended everywhere. Got some stories there.
Yeah, that's what I have. We could do a whole episode where I just tell you stories where you'd go,
yeah,
that didn't happen. I'm like, no, it did. And that's not even the best one.
My brother stole somebody's...
We should make a game out of that.
Huh?
My brother stole somebody's credit card and bought $400 worth of porno tapes.
Oh, yeah, you told me this once.
Yeah.
What?
He was a bartender.
People leave their credit cards constantly.
Oh, yeah.
Constantly.
He was a bartender at a very big restaurant. It was like Jekyll and Hyde, or one of those really big ones. Was there one called like Motown or something like that?
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, it was Motown in the city. And my brother was making money hand over fist as a fucking bartender on the weekends in Manhattan. I don't know why he ever left that.
Because I had a question about that.
Okay.
And I'm sorry to interrupt your story, but I have a friend who's like, he's like, my girlfriend wants to leave her job. And I'm like, because she's a waiter. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, why? He's like, oh, she doesn't feel like she's,
she's a water.
Yeah, that's like, but that used to be.
There's no prestige.
There's no prestige. Exactly. Like, I'm better than this. And I'm like, well, how much does she make? He's like, $1,500 to $2,000 a week in cash.
Oh my God.
I was like, what?
Oh my God.
$1,500 to $2,000 a week in cash. I said, why would you ever leave that job?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, what does people think? I'm like, the only person who thinks badly about what you do for a living is you.
That's not true.
I have met plumbers and ditch diggers. I've never been like, oh, you're a plumber?
Yeah, you haven't.
Yeah.
But there are definitely people that walk into a restaurant and be like, the stupid waitress.
Yeah, but I don't give a fuck about those people.
No,
I don't
know
associate with those people at all.
No, I know you don't, but
Yeah.
I'm saying there are definitely people who care.
Yeah, but those people are
yeah.
assholes.
Yeah, of course they are.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But you're not going to hang out with them anyway.
That's what I mean. Like,
you're
no,
going to take your $1,000 at the end of the week and you're going on a nice fucking vacation.
and that's my point.
I'm
Like,
with you.
That was my point to her. I'm like,
People look at me like oh, he's a teacher. He's a high school teacher. People, I get that all the
yeah,
time.
like I don't like I think that is my feeling on it was people are way too sensitive about what they do themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think most people say that stuff right to your face.
Yeah.
You know?
Some people might.
Some
But
people-
it doesn't happen as often as you think.
No, as you
I
think
agree,
it will.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm sorry, I interrupt your story. Motown.
No worries. No, so he had a client who was just an obnoxious, drunk asshole, and he left his card. He was such an asshole. Like, my brother's a good guy. Like, he always tries to find...
Except for the $400 stolen porn.
He always tries,
Well, yeah.
He always tries to find, like, an easy way out of things, but at his core, he's a good guy. And I don't think he would ever do this to somebody that was nice to him. He wouldn't make this a habit or anything like that. And he shouldn't have done this to begin with, but he did it to a douchebag. And the guy left his credit card. And he's like, you know what? Fuck this guy. And he took he took the credit card and he went to a porno shop where you actually bought VHS tapes because it was like 94 or 95.
Yeah.
And he bought $400 worth of VHS tapes, threw the freaking credit card in the trash, and went home with a box of fucking remember those big porno boxes?
No, but
No?
No.
Oh, well, the tape was in a big plastic tray, and that That was in a big cardboard box. Like the box for a porno tape was gigantic.
I had
So you didn't get the tape infected.
I had a manager who was stealing credit cards.
Yeah.
And then would give them to his girlfriend who worked at another restaurant to buy gift cards.
Oh, nice.
Buy 2 or 3 gift cards for the credit card away.
Yeah.
Right? They report the credit card stolen. They're not going to match the gift card up then and like void it. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
Then a couple weeks later, they'd close cash checks with those credit gift cards and keep the cash.
How would
if you bring me $50 in cash, I go, "Oh, have a nice night." Take the $50, put it in my pocket, use the gift card that I had made with the stolen credit card. And it's so far removed now.
Wow.
It took, like, when we figured it out, we were like, oh my God, it's thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah. That's genius.
Because it wasn't just us. We had it, like, they took it to another restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is genius.
Yeah. Real smart kid. Uses powers for evil.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Joe, best job? Current job?
Yeah. Yeah. I do what I like. I get paid well, and I like the people I work with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I get tons of time off. I can't. I don't know. I can't complain. I mean, there are things there are days where I go to work and I don't want to work because I'm just either exhausted or it's a shitty day. But you're gonna have those no matter what you do.
Mike?
I don't know if I could answer that question.
Huh.
I don't like. There's been things I've really liked. I really liked owning my own place. I really enjoyed that. But if people ask me about like what's it like owning your own restaurant, I'm like single best, single worst thing I ever did. There were parts of it that were great, and there were parts of it that were an unending nightmare.
Yeah.
I really liked working for the Walt Disney Company. I really enjoyed that.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
I really enjoyed working for that in Florida. That was, I mean, it was such a poor paying job because it was like right out of college, right out of an internship. But God, like I have never had a better like 8 to 12 months of my life. We just worked and we had fun 24 hours out every day because just out of college, no real responsibilities, had a gig sort of.
Yeah.
Like it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Like that was a fun year. But I don't know. I liked working for ESPN, which was Disney again in the city.
Right.
Working at their restaurant. That gig, when I said when I was there, I'm like, I would never leave this.
Mm-hmm.
And then they closed it 6 months after I got there. Yeah.
Coincidence?
I think not.
Maybe. But it's really sad. I've never had a job I truly, genuinely have loved.
That wasn't your question. Your question was, what was your favorite job?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I've never had one. I've never had a job I really enjoyed doing.
Isn't that a different question? Like, if you say pick the job that you like the best out of all the jobs you have.
Which one did I hate the least?
Yeah.
Okay. It's probably working at Disney World.
Right.
I found some kind of bigger meaning out of that nonsense work.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, I hear you.
Like you make little kids smile. Like that. Like the best part of the job for me was like when something would break and they would encourage you to like come up with elaborate lies. Like that was my favorite part.
Yeah.
Like in the part of the park I worked in had the tiki room and it would break almost daily.
Really?
And people would come up with like, what happened to the tiki room? And like they wouldn't want you to be like, the bird fell off his perch and the guy's back there bolted him back on. Like that's not what they wanted you to do. So we'd have to come up with elaborate stories and we would just like make up shit.
Tell me an elaborate story, Mike.
I can't remember it, like stuff at the time. Well, I'll give you an example. In that same part was the Swiss Family Robinson's tree.
Yeah.
And people would be like, so what kind of, come on, how did they make the tree? And I'd be like, no, sir, it's a banyan tree. And they were like, what? I'm like, there's only 2 in America. They were brought here by the ambassador from India. One was given to Walt Disney in the 70s. The other one was given to the president. He put it in the National Garden. They were like, no. I'm like, no, I'm serious. It's a banyan tree. It feels like this because it has the feeling of concrete, and the trees look like rubber. The leaves. And they're like, get out of here. I'm like, no, dude, I'm serious. Like every night, the horticulture team has to come in and prune the trees, and people be like, honey, you hear this? It's a banyan tree. Like that stuff was so much fun to me.
And did you just go home to Monica or whoever at the time and just like, look, here's what I told this idiot?
No, like to me that like selling the story was so much fun to me.
Okay.
Like why'd the tiki birds? One of the birds got laryngitis. What are you doing? Oh, we're working on. It's really hard to find trained birds that can sing. They're not real. Yeah, they are. Whatever. And we're working on a new one, flying them in from the California show. Mm-hmm. And they're like, what? I'm like, no, there's a special transport down at the airport waiting for them. Big star. Funny. Like, and that stuff was so much fun to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then the job ended cool. Like I used to always work nights, and I think I told this before. Every night you knew the night was over when the fireworks went off. Mm-hmm. So we always had to walk the rides to make sure there was no one on it. So I would always run over. Like I'll walk the treehouse, and I would just walk the top of the treehouse and stand there, and watch the fireworks. That was a great gig. How does your day end now? With a bell and a bus ride. Yeah, mine was like, all right, I'll watch fireworks.
Nice.
So that was a fun gig. Never could have made a career out of it. Like, I think they offered me management. They're like $28,000. Like, American? Like, but yeah, that was a fun job.
Do I get one of those trees too?
Yeah, do I get a banyan tree?
Oh, that was that part. Like, to me, to sell the little kids.
Yeah.
To keep them involved in like the mystery of it and like the fantasy of it, I thought was really fun.
Nice.
Do I have any other questions here? Not really. I actually ever got fired from a job. You stormed out because someone dropped chicken parmesan.
No, I never got fired.
Or left the job in spectacular fashion.
Nope. I did have to tell my previous teaching job that I was leaving for another teaching job at a better school.
I did get fired.
Oh, did you? I've never been fired.
And I left in a blaze of glory.
Did you? That's very much me in my early, like, late teens, 20s.
I did.
What'd you do?
I was working for an accountant during tax season, and
Wabbit season.
Every weekend I worked when I wasn't in school. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, kind of like what you did. I would go just make extra cash. And one Sunday I came in, and the accountants would always come in late, and like their first like 3 clients would be super backed up. So I would go and take all of like the information and set everything up, so that when they came in, like their first 3 clients are already in the computer system. All they had to do is just go through and do their job. Right. So one day I came in, and it wasn't 2 or 3 clients that got backed up now. It was 4 or 5 of like 3 different accountants that were behind. And the boss comes out and he's like, "Why are there all these people sitting here?" I was like, "Well, so and so didn't come in, and this person didn't come in." He's like, "Well, what? Like, I'm free. Can I help them?" I'm like, "Yeah, these are in the computer. This is happening." And while he's in there, one of the people that was waiting, one of the clients got mad and was like, "I'm waiting an hour. This is ridiculous." And you try and make lies to keep them calm. So the boss comes out and he's like, "All right, this is what we're gonna do. This guy's sitting here doing nothing. You're going to give him some work. We're going to give this person some work. And you're going to do what you were doing." Great. So I do my thing. The other fucking asshole doesn't do shit. And the boss comes out and he's like, "I don't understand. Nothing's done." And before I can even be like, "But this was his thing," I was just thrown under the bus. And I got fucking chewed out. And I just went, "You know what? This is a part-time job for me. Go fuck yourself. You over there, if I ever see you again, I'm going to kill you." And he's like, "Get the fuck out of my office. Don't ever come back again." I'm like, "I'm never coming back again. You have a whole room of people here that the only reason why they're not screaming and leaving is because I took care of them.
Yeah.
You want dumb shit over there to deal with it? Knock yourself out."
You see a dumb shit.
And I fucking walked out that day. I got a call from the other accountants that ran the office. "Please come back. We need you. We're sorry."
Was this like your mom's place?
Yeah.
I remember when you worked at that place.
And I was like, "No, I'm not coming back." I'm like, my own parents don't treat me like this.
Yeah.
Like,
my own parents don't treat me this badly.
Like, why? Like, if I did something wrong and I fucked up, the words that came out of this man's mouth, I'm like, "No, I'm sorry. Like, I know you're the boss, but I don't have to stand here and take it for what you're paying me. Like, this is." I'm giving you my weekend to make some extra cash, and I'm just not going to deal with the abuse, and I'm bailing you out every weekend.
Yeah.
And you don't see it. I quit the job, and then they gave me a bonus. When they paid me out,
yeah,
they gave me like an extra like $1,500.
Wow.
I was like, "Oh, okay." Nice. And they're like, "Can you come back still?" I was like, "No,
F you.
I'm sorry, I'm not coming back. I'm keeping the money." But I left that in a blaze of glory. I remember I came home that day. My mom was like, "What are you doing home?" I'm like, "I quit."
The job she got you and still works at?
Yeah.
Oh, how could that have failed?
I was like, "Look, this is what happened." And when she went back to work, everybody had gotten the real story. And the other guy who fucked up got his ass chewed out too.
Dumb shit?
Yeah. But I was like, "I'm not coming back. You could deal with dumb shit."
Yeah.
I still swear, if I ever see this guy this day, I will punch him in the face.
At this point, you don't care, do you?
Just principle. Just, who is this guy? Remember that guy? You got fired?
Told you. You're dumb shit. I've been waiting for years for this.
Payback.
I quit a job because of hanging out with you once. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
In Pennsylvania? We went up and we were supposed to, we stayed an extra day or two.
It wasn't my fault, though.
No, I just didn't go back to work. We just stayed up at his house in Pennsylvania, hung out.
I remember that phone call. "I'm not coming into work today." I think they must have said something like, "Well, if you don't come back today, don't come back at all." And he just went, "Well, I guess I'm not coming back at all then."
Yeah. Yeah. They asked me to come back when I went back. But
Yeah.
like we stayed up in Pennsylvania for like an extra 3 days.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to be at work. And I was
I
like,
remember he got a phone call from his mom.
Yeah.
To the house in Pennsylvania, which I don't know how she got the number from.
she must have called your mom.
And she was like, "You didn't go to work today?"
Yeah, because they must have called looking for me when I didn't pick up the phone at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that conversation was even better than his quitting conversation.
Yeah. But they asked me to take that. Like when I went back, they were like, why didn't you come in? And I was like, I had other things to do, you know. And they were like, all right, well, you know, we're gonna have to document you, but you know, you can go back to work today. And I was like, I don't want to. And they're like, what do you mean? And I didn't like one of the managers, and I'm like, I don't want to work for him anymore. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, he goes or I do. Like, how crazy a statement was that from like an 18-year-old kid? Yeah, I was like, either he goes or I do. And they were like, we can't.
Or
we can't do that. They're like, you have to work with him. I'm like, no, I don't. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That was not a bad job, but yeah.
Stuff you do when you don't have any.
No, when you don't care.
Yeah, I was like, if I quit that job, no problem. This was part time. I had another job that I was working, and I was in school full time and part time.
Yeah.
I remember being out with you guys for an entire weekend, not sleeping for 2 days, and then trying to go to work. Trying to go to work, falling asleep, standing up.
Yeah.
And like, what the hell is wrong with us? Yeah. I have a very colored job history. I've worked at a lot of things.
All right. Well, you want to give Tony a lead in for Comic Book Corner?
Take it away, Tony. Pew pew.
Comic Book Corner, brought to you by Comic Book Jones, located at 2220 Forest Avenue in Staten Island, and Royal Collectibles at 9601 Metropolitan Avenue in Queens, New York. Visit these fine establishments for all of your comic book needs.
All right. So this week, we're going to hear from a cosplayer. A while back, we did the New Jersey Comic Expo, and we were able to talk to I was able to talk to some very interesting cosplay girls. And this week, we're going to hear from Laney Jade. Laney Jade was the Aqua Girl. Do you remember her, Joe?
Oh, yeah.
Gee, I liked her. I thought she was an excellent cosplayer. So here's the interview with Laney Jade. Enjoy.
Okay, I'm in Cosplay Corner with Laney Jade. How you doing, Laney?
Good, how are you?
I love the outfit.
Thank you.
It's Mira?
Or are you Aquaman, Genderman Aquaman.
That's awesome. You look great.
Thanks.
So what got you into cosplay?
I started doing charity work with Hope for Henry Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And I just met a bunch of people in the community through that. And they were like, you know, we go to all these conventions. You should really come. And I've never been to one, but I've always been into comics and video games and, you know, pop culture. And they were like, yeah, you should just come with us. So I was like, all right, I don't really know how to, like, make a costume. So I think I bought, like, a black leotard and some fishnets. And I was like, yeah, look at me, I'm Black Canary. That was the first one I ever did at Baltimore Comic Con. Yeah, and then it's just kind of like...
And how long ago was that? So how long have you been doing this for?
I think 4 years now, yeah.
What's your favorite cosplay you've ever performed or done?
I think Aquaman, but I also love Supergirl too. Supergirl, I mean, I read all the Supergirl comics. I love Supergirl, so...
And you kind of look like Supergirl.
Look like
yeah,
her,
absolutely.
Minus the nose ring.
A badass Supergirl.
Yeah.
What was the hardest cosplay you've ever done? Do you make your own things?
Yeah, well, yeah. I have a lot of really talented friends, though, also, who, like, sometimes they'll be like, oh, like, let me make, like... My friend Dustin Kiska from Power Loader Props made this belt for me because he just really wanted to make it for me. The hardest costume, I think, was my full onesie Supergirl because I had to, like, hand paint all the... That's all puffy paint, all the detail. And
wow.
Yeah, lots of people ask me, they're like, where did you get that material from? And I'm like, hand puffy paint.
Wow.
Took me like 6 months to puffy paint the whole thing.
What were some of your inspirations to cosplay? Like, what were some of the things that you were into before you cosplayed, as far as comic books, games, things like that? What were you reading?
Trying to think. I mean, I've always loved Black Canary and Supergirl, any kind of Supergirl comics. But I feel like my nerding started out with, like, video games, like, way back in the day. Any kind of Zelda or any kind of N64, I was like, all I did was video games all day. So I think that's kind of where it started. Also, I really loved Phantom of the Opera, and I, like, as a child, I thought I was the Phantom for some reason. Like, I didn't want to be, you know, the pretty girl in the dress. I wanted to be the Phantom as, like, a 10-year-old kid. So my mom made me a costume, and I was like, yes, I'm going. I wore it to like grocery stores and stuff.
Wow.
I was like, I'm just gonna wear this now. This is me now. Like, I'm the Phantom. So I think that's where it kind of started. I've always liked to dress up.
Is there any cosplay you want to do in the future that you have your eye on?
A million. All of the Supergirls. I want every Supergirl there ever was because there are so many.
Okay. You have a favorite one?
I really like Michael Turner, but I already did her, so I'm trying to. I like. There's from Apocalypse, the animated series.
Yeah.
Where she's with Darkseid and she's like evil and she's wearing the like orange pants and the red eyes and she's got her hair all up. I think I want to do that. But there was a run where in Supergirl in the comics where she goes to Kandor. I mean, I'm sure you don't read Supergirl that often because not that many people do. But she goes to Kandor and she like becomes not evil, but she's like this like badass. Like she meets up with Power Girl and she becomes Nightwing and Flamebird. And it's like this awesome, like robotic, like with big wings, and I don't know. I think I want that eventually one day.
Very cool. Any advice to new cosplayers?
Just don't be afraid to even try to start crafting because I was like, I don't know why. I think everyone's like super nervous when they start crafting, and because it's like you spend so much money on the materials and then you waste your money because you ruin it and you mess up. But it's just trial and error, and just don't be scared to like get out there and wear your costume and be like, look at me, I look awesome.
Have you seen Justice League yet?
I have not seen it because we came up here and Monday I will see it.
Okay, I liked it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited.
Excellent. Laney, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so that was our interview with Laney. She was a good sport. She was also one of my favorites. Yeah, the girl who did Elektra was really good too. But we already played her interview. I forget what her name was. Kay Victoria, I think was her name. But yeah, so did you get a chance? We said last week that we were going to talk about Metal. Did you get to read the finale of the biggest DC story arc in the past couple of years?
I did.
And what'd you think?
I didn't like it.
Oh my God. How'd you not like it?
I didn't like it.
What didn't you like?
I didn't like how it ended.
Huh. Well, it did end abrupt. It did end very quickly. Like it ended out of nowhere. Like you thought there could have been 2 or 3 more pages explaining how it could have ended. But it was a setup for the next arc.
Yes.
Which is No Justice. It's called No Justice. But this opened up. The whole point of this book was to open up the DC universe to an entire new realm of heroes and villains.
Yes.
Because that's basically what they did. Spoiler alert, if you didn't read Metal. What finally had to happen was that Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman used what was called the 10th metal, which was the metal the metal that's in every living thing in the universe. Which is pretty badass if you saw them in their armor. They had 10th metal armor. Batman in the 10th metal armor was a pretty cool drawing. Not for nothing. I thought that was pretty cool. No, you didn't like it?
Nope.
Well, they needed to use this 10th metal to beat...
the 9th metal.
The 9th metal.
Because the 10th metal is stronger than the 9th metal.
Right. Which is stronger than the 8th metal, which is only given to the gods. That's why Wonder Woman's metal stuff is all 8th metal. Hawkman's metal stuff is 8th metal. No, really, you fell off, huh? This one killed you?
Uh-huh.
I enjoyed it still. I still enjoyed the ending. But they all kind of had to join hands and sing Hallelujah.
They built in a MacGuffin. Just something that they needed to solve the problem.
Yep.
Yes. Sure. Because this 10th metal is in every living thing on the planet. Every living thing that's on the planet has...
We just never noticed before?
Yeah, well, we didn't discover it yet. They discover it in this. So what they did was they kind of all joined the whole Justice League.
Was there any leading you to that before the final episode?
No, not at all.
So they wrote themselves to the end and they were like, what beats 9th metal? 10th metal?
I guess so. So they all had to kind of join hands and put their energy together to use the 10th metal to connect the 10th metal with every living thing in the universe. And they get to the ends of the universe and the ends of the galaxies, and there's a wall, and they break through the wall.
Jeep, 10th metal snooze.
But they break through the wall, and the breaking through that wall opens up all this new stuff for the next runs of DC.
What's the new stuff?
All new villains, new heroes, and everything else that parts of universes that we've never seen or anything like that.
Do you know what the best part of that comic book was?
The ending.
No,
Did I steal your joke?
No, when Batman's fighting the Batman who laughs.
Yeah.
And he can't beat him.
Yeah.
And
well, they had a plan.
Yes.
This was the best part of the book.
That was Mike, this is... You'll probably figure it out.
I would assume to beat the Joker Batman, he needs to team up with the Joker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he's not...
I hate that kind of stuff. It's so easy to see.
He's not the Joker Batman. He's Bruce Wayne.
Right, but with the Joker's personality. So all the smarts of Batman and all the insanity of the Joker.
Right.
All the smarts of Batman alone can't beat that. He needs the old insanity of the Joker.
The reasoning behind it, which was pretty cool, was that the Batman who laughs knows everything that Bruce Wayne would do because he's Bruce Wayne.
Right, he doesn't know what Joker would do.
No. The real Bruce Wayne knew that and did something that Bruce Wayne would never do, and that's team up with the Joker. Which I thought was a good idea.
I like the little one-liner. He's like, don't tell anybody about this.
Yeah, he's like, yo, we're teaming up, but do not tell anyone about this.
So now have they completely changed the entire DC universe, or is this going to be like a pocket universe that won't affect the larger DC universe?
Well, now what's going to happen is they have this thing called No Justice, which is the Justice League members basically get their own teams. So like the Green Lantern gets a team, the Flash gets a team, Cyborg gets a team, Batman gets a team, Wonder Woman gets a team. And it's a team of all different superheroes that have to go and fight these new threats that are coming from beyond this wall that they broke.
Because what Metal did was all like the parallel Earths.
Right, that's what I mean. These aren't just from parallel Earths.
No, it's further than that. There's a wall that is at the end of the universe. And in our universe was all the 52 worlds and things like that. Past that was a wall of something else. And what they say to Bruce afterwards is like, you have no idea what you've unleashed, what's going to come out after you now.
Who says that to him?
I forget who. Do you remember who?
It might have been Hawkman.
Well, I think it was Hawkman. Before he went into a coma. I think it was Hawkman. I think you're right. And he's like, you have no idea what's going to happen. Or it was one of the new characters. I forget. But that's what... So the Hall of Justice is coming back, and now you're going to have these teams. I don't know why it's called No Justice. But like Harley Quinn is with the Flash and, other heroes. I forget like what the teams are.
They built this up so well, and it was such an anticlimactic
I'm still
issue.
in. I still like it.
Like that 10th metal, like there was no explanation.
That was so cool. I thought that was awesome. Batman comes out with this armor, he rides a fucking Joker dragon. It was so cool.
A Joker dragon?
Yeah. That was like one of the... No, well, you've seen these Joker dragons throughout metal in the underworld.
Yeah, but see, like that's... I like Batman as a street level.
And like you have all the...
punching guys in the face.
Yeah.
The Batman superheroes that have destroyed the Justice League.
Yeah.
It was Aquaman and Green Lantern getting their butt kicked by all of them.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the tide gets turned and they're holding them all off. I'm like, come on. They just got their asses handed by them.
Well, they got the 10th metal back. Batman threw the 10th metal.
This was before the 10th metal. Like they were like...
Well, that's because the ship that Cyborg was piloting brought all those other Batmans from other dimensions that weren't bad Batmans.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool. It was like another 10 Batmans. I thought that was cool, man. See, all you have to do for me is just give me visuals, man. That's why I liked Ready Player One.
So easy to...
All about the splash page.
Yeah.
It's all about the splash page.
5 pages of splashes.
That's right. I wish they could have it.
No story. One word.
I
Pow.
Yeah.
End.
I guess I'm...
So well written. Concise and to the point.
I don't know. I liked it.
For what they did with all the other issues and the tie-ins, I was expecting a lot more.
They did beat Barbados too quickly. Like
I wanted them to lose.
Yeah, but you knew that couldn't happen.
I wanted this to end where the heroes lose.
Yeah.
And for the next storyline is how they put the pieces back together.
Okay, how they get out of the dark multiverse.
Yeah.
That would have been a cool idea.
Like Wonder Woman finds Superman and Batman, and they still lose.
You didn't like Plastic Man finally coming out of the egg? Plastic Man's back, baby.
Out of the egg.
He was an egg.
He was an egg. He was an egg the whole time. And Mr. Terrific's like, dude, you gotta do something here.
He was part of the... He had the one of the medals, right?
Who, Plastic
He was
Man?
a catalyst for one of them?
Yeah, something like that.
Silly. It was silly.
I liked
the
it.
book was silly.
Nope, I liked
I'm
it.
sorry.
Go get it. Go read it. It's still awesome. It's still better than any Marvel thing out there.
Oh, absolutely. You know what's really good you'd enjoy?
What's that?
Old Man Hawkeye.
Is it good?
Yeah.
I was thinking about picking up issue 3 last week or 2 weeks
It's only
ago.
just get 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
It ties in between where the first Old Man Logan ends.
Okay.
And it builds up that way.
Nice. All right. Well, next week we'll talk Doomsday Clock. I know you didn't get a chance to read it yet.
No.
I did. It's all about how the new Rorschach became Rorschach. That's what the whole book's
11th metal. Moving on.
13th medal.
All right.
13th medal. All right, now for some tweets. Let's see what we got here. We got something from Kate here. Let's see. She goes, I'll have to watch this Netflix show Mike is talking about. Surprised they didn't go to New Haven for the pizza.
So they did.
Oh, they did?
They did. They went to New Haven.
So that was
because the guy from Brooklyn didn't think you could get, you couldn't put seafood on pizza. And then they do clam pizza up there.
What was the name of it? Ugly Food? What was the name of that show? Ugly Chefs?
Ugly Delicious.
Ugly Delicious. There you go. So yeah, I guess they did go to New Haven.
I don't know if that's right.
No, I think you're right. I think you're right. Then she says, Joe wins for Joke of the Week. Use it as a pointer in class. Thinking about the condom trainer. That was pretty funny, using it as a pointer in class. So Joe wins Joke of the Week again. Very good, Joseph. Good for you.
When he showed me that picture, I couldn't believe it.
Then she also says, please stop making fun of Steve's sitcom choices. I like The Odd Couple too. So ha ha ha. Stop making fun of my sitcom choices.
You can stop making fun of yours if you like, Kate. Send the list.
Hey, leave my Kate alone. Then we got some memes from Seb. There's one of me sitting in a park drinking coffee at a table with a sign on the front of the table says, bag of dicks is just as good as $125 condom training kit. Change my mind underneath it. That was good. All right. That's really it for Social Shit Time this week. We're a little light on the tweets this week. Join the conversation on Facebook.com/dinnerandapodcast. Check out our Instagram and our Twitter handles at dinnerandapodcast, and email us any questions and comments at dinnerandpodcast@gmail.com. Big thanks to Andrew Brookes for all the amazing artwork that he does and the amazing animations that he makes and creates for our YouTube channel. Check those out by searching Dinner and a Podcast on YouTube. And to see Andrew's other work, visit andrewbrooksportfolio.com. Alejandro Rosado for making our amazing artwork for us. You can follow him on Twitter and Instagram at AleroArt. Will Shelton for the awesome theme song you hear. Follow him on SoundCloud at William_Shelton. And lastly, a big thanks to Tony Wolf, who's the voice you hear on all the bumpers during the show. Follow him at Tony Wolfness on Twitter and on Instagram. And until next week, I'm Steve.
I'm Joe.
I'm Mike.
See you later, everybody. Have a good weekend.
Suck it, sales.